First off, I want to start off by saying rest in peace to the homeboy Kevin Samuels, okay? So I want to touch on a topic about Kevin Samuels. So anybody who knows him knows that he is a very highly controversial social media influencer, right? It's a lot of people who do not like Kevin Samuels because, and I'm gonna say in particular, a lot of females in particular don't like Kevin Samuels because of the fact that, from their perception, they feel that he bashes black women. This is what I hear over and over again. This is what I read in the comments. This is what people post about him, that he bashes black women. So I first learned about Kevin Samuels probably in late 2020, after watching a couple of videos. And of course, I'm always looking. For one, when I'm listening to somebody, no matter what they talking about, it could be Black History, it can be anything about a vaccine, it could be whatever, man. If somebody telling me something, I'm always looking at it from a non-biased perspective. I'm not on nobody's side. I don't care if it's two people standing up there. I'm not just automatically like, yeah, he right, okay? Like, for nobody. Because I already know that a lot of people who highly educated in a lot of different things still get it wrong sometimes. So it's always good to go back and verify anything that anybody tells you. So now I'm to a point where I'm professional with that, okay? If I read some article and I don't know if it's necessarily true, I have to go and research that. You know what I mean? I gotta look it up on multiple sources. I gotta see, how deep is in the public domain. The credible sources that's touching on the same topic, and then I draw my conclusion from it. I never draw nobody else's conclusion from it, okay? Because I just don't think that that's right. And I think that that's the problem with a lot of us, is the fact that we will listen to a story and we just run with it. We like, damn, that's true. And we don't even be knowing, you know what I mean? Like, it's, we don't even be knowing there's a whole nother side that ain't nobody explained yet. And if they just had a chance to explain it, you would probably change your perspective on what you just said. So, the thing is with Kevin Samuels is that a lot of females don't really like him because they feel like he bashed females. Now, I'm going to tell you this. I'm non-biased. So when I first watched his videos, I'm looking at it from what the lady was saying. I'm looking at it from what he was saying. And I'm going to only go with what makes sense at the end of the day. I'm going to only go with what's realistic in life right now today and what makes sense. Because the thing is about us, just as a people, man, is we got a lot of non-realistic dreams that we don't even be realizing sometimes at that point, right? You might have this non-realistic dream, but you believe in it so much that can't nobody tell you nothing, but it's non-realistic because you're not setting the pieces in place for that dream to come true, right? Like, like you could say, okay, I want to one day own Rick Ross' house, his mansion, right? We all know that's a non-realistic dream. You might even know that's a non-realistic dream, but it actually can be a realistic dream, probably the same way he said, I want to own Frazier fucking old mansion. You know what I mean? Probably nobody ever thought that he would, but he believed in it so much that he did. And sometimes those dreams are just non-realistic, not because of the fact that you can't do it. It's the fact that you haven't even set the pieces in place to start what you're trying to do. You know what I mean? Like, time gonna pass before you even realize, man, damn, I ain't even started my dream yet, and 6 years then pass. You know what I mean? You're gonna look up 10 years then pass. You know, people still dreaming the shit they wanted to do 20 years ago, and they ain't even started on getting to where they need to be to fulfill that dream, to accomplish them goals. You know what I mean? They haven't even started yet, but they will sit there and tell you them same dreams for the next 10 years like it's really gonna come true. You know what I mean? And that's what I call non-realistic dreams. Like, it's not to say it's a bad thing. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we all have certain expectations in our life, certain things we want to be in life. You know what I mean? And sometimes, you know, you might want to open the business up, and it might be a certain type of business. Okay, say for instance, you know, you want to open up a weed store. You know what I'm saying? Or you want to open up a boutique, or you want to open up a flower store or a pet store. You know what I'm saying? Something like that. You know what I mean? But it's like, where do you start at first? You know, is the pet store the ultimate goal? You know what I mean? Like, do you want to own a chain of those? But where you gonna start at first? Maybe you should start at a little small corner store first, so you can understand sales and, you know, customer service and knowing how to do your books right and all that before you advance to something like a pet store, which is highly cataloged. You know what I'm saying? Like with pet supplies and with different types of pets and stuff. Maybe that's just too big for you right now. Maybe you need to know the basics, learn the basics of running a business, starting small. You know what I mean? Maybe you shouldn't jump into the clothing store because you know clothing is seasonal, right? So you know you're going to have a lot of on-hand clothing in that boutique. And just by being seasonal, I can guarantee you're going to lose out on a lot of money. So that's a non-realistic dream. Wait till you get your money up to be able to get your overhead to a point where it don't even matter. You know what I'm saying? But some people start off so small, they be having like 5 of these and 7s of those and 12s of those and, you know, 10 of those, but that's all they got. But then, you know what I mean, if that shit sells slow, 2 months go past, rent due, in the building that you occupying, $2,000 of money, you ain't even made $700 in 2 months. You know what I'm saying? Grand opening, grand closing. So that's a non-realistic dream at the time. Not to say that it won't happen, but it's to say, what are you doing to get that, to like the initiative? What initiative are you taking to start that company? You know what I mean? Or to even learn and understand business, because that's the problem with a lot of us too. We don't understand business, we jump right into it. We don't understand relationships, we jump right into them. You know what I'm saying? We don't understand ourselves and we jump right into a relationship with somebody else who don't even understand themselves. And now that's what? Toxic. You know, when I watch Kevin Samuel videos, man, a lot of points he was making was things that people should have been taken out of what he was saying and utilizing that in their way of life in some type of form or fashion. Like, they don't have to take what he's saying verbatim and do what he's saying, or, you know, take his advice verbatim and do it 100%. But what you do is you take the little bits and pieces out of what Kevin was saying and you apply it to yourself. I learned this myself, because just like me and a lot of other people who young and black, we grew up with this mentality, with this type of mentality that's like, well, I'm not changing for nothing. I'ma always be me. You know what I'm saying? You know, we hear this all the time from each other. I ain't changing for nobody. I ain't changing for nobody. That's the dumbest shit in the world, man. Change is good. You understand what I'm saying? And I mean, not just a fucking quote. I mean, in real life, change is good. It's good to change. The same way when people say no new friends. It's the dumbest fucking quote in the world for black people, man. Because it gets you away from people who can ultimately be somebody who can help you out in life. When you have this mentality of no new friends, then it keeps you in a circle by your damn self. You don't want to meet nobody. You don't really care about, you know what I mean? You just a fucking hermit in your own little space. You know what I mean? So it's just the dumbest stuff ever for people to really walk around and say no new friends. yeah, you always want to be mindful of the friends that you are getting, but you still want to get new friends, and maybe you need to upgrade your fucking level of friends. You know what I'm saying? I ain't talking about the niggas that's on the fucking block doing the same shit you doing every day. Them ain't your friends. You know what I mean? Them not even the people you supposed to be associating yourself with if you really trying to be something and do something in life. When I heard Kevin Samuels, this is what I hear him telling women. Like, this relate, like, y'all expecting too much for the value that you have in life. You see what I'm saying? Now, I get it to a point where a woman done been through so much shit in life, right? She done been down bad as a motherfucker. Like, you know, a lot of women have been through men, been through it with men who will literally take them and run them clean in the ground. They entire confidence gone. You know what I mean? I know it's men out there, a lot of men out there who did a lot of women like that. Men get with women, you know, in the early stages of a relationship, and it's the best relationship you ever had. You know why? Because it's just that high moment. But then you get the fucking, and you get the waking up with a motherfucker, and it's a little different than how you met them, and now it's just like nothing. Like, they don't call you queen no more. They don't say good morning to you no more like they always was before you even started fucking with them. You know what I mean? They don't do the spontaneous shit like buy you roses or just do some spontaneous gift shit or just take you somewhere no more. It's just like y'all are just in a relationship. It gets to a point where you don't even know where y'all going in the relationship. Even if it's a good relationship, some people sit there and don't really even know where they're going in their relationship. Because is nobody sitting there in that relationship like, babe, let's open up this, or babe, let's do this, or babe, what you trying to do that I can invest in? You know what I'm saying? Like let's help push each other. Like, it's not that in the relationship no more. So I get that women have been through that, and that's not having a man. That's not having love. You know what I'm saying? I get that. I get all of that shit. So, you know, when a woman is talking to Kevin Samuels, she talking to him in the sense of, nigga, I know my worth now. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna settle for the shit that I used to settle for. You know, so moving forward, this is what I want out of my life, and this is what I want out of my life. And from Kevin Samuels' perspective, he looking at it like, look, this is what you acquired during the times where you was going through the bullshit. You know what I'm saying? You acquired 5 kids. You acquired, you know, education that you really didn't use to your advantage when it comes to career choice. You know, certain shit, and he just saying it from a different perspective, and he not saying that, hey, you not worth what you feel like you worth. It's just that what you have to understand as a person, and not even as a woman, just as a person, that your value, even though you know what you worth. You know that when you going at a certain person, you're not going at them for a certain dollar amount that they have, or you're not going at them for what they own or what they, you know, how they came at you. It's all personality based. It's all character based. That's what you want to go for, because that's one of the things that people fail to look into: personality and character, man. And you know right away when somebody ain't right. The problem is that people look away from that shit. You know, and that's the problem. Kevin Samuels was bringing that shit to light. All he doing is telling you, baby girl, look, you got 5 kids. You know what I'm saying? And you talking about you celibate, and you want to wait till somebody marry you. I mean, come on. Reality. You know what I'm saying? Like, tell me the fucking reality part. And all he is big brother. He like the big tough love brother. That's what I look at him as. He like the nigga that's not gonna sugarcoat nothing. And that's what he didn't do. He didn't sugarcoat nothing. But what he always did was talk to you with respect. He always said, yes ma'am, no ma'am. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, he did his cussing. Yeah, sometimes he'd get frustrated. That's normal human reaction. But he never disrespected a woman that I have seen. I can't speak for that if he have. And another thing, he's always talked with respect. It's not people who want to too much criticize you and you damn near going off on them and telling them that they're wrong, where they can still keep a calm attitude, or just say, hey, look, I'm out of here. We don't gotta talk no more, because obviously we not getting our points across to each other. So bye. That's respectful. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's respectful. And he not telling you in the I'ma hold your hand and tell you sweet kisses and sweet nothings type of shit. Girl, listen, this is what it is. You need to get your shit together and do this and do this and do that, and you'll be prosperous. But see, y'all wasn't taking the good points out of what he was telling y'all. You know what I'm saying?